Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present to you Scrub Zero. During the NFL annual meeting in Palm Beach, Florida, John Mara is once again, I guess, doubled down. I want to say doubled down. He's saying more of the same stuff that he's usually been saying. About Daniel Jones, saying that he's shown the quote. Here's a quote from him. He's shown enough when we had the right pieces around him. When we've been relatively healthy, he's shown enough talent to make us believe we can win with him. The Giants they've announced it. Daniel Jones is QB1, Tyrod Taylor's the backup. Daniel Jones, who's coming off of a neck injury. There were a few people in the team who thought he could have played late in the season. They held him out. Quite honestly, I don't think this. Like, they're going into it. Obviously, there's the fifth-year option, but it doesn't seem like they'll be picking it up. The Giants haven't really said anything about it, but that's the sense going around. My thing is, why are they giving this man all these chances? Like, yes, I understand that Daniel Jones hasn't been given a fair shake as far as, what he's had available to him. It's been a lot more downs than ups. He's had switch coaching staff. He's had different coaching staffs, but you know what? This could have been avoided if he played better. Like, I understand you're being stuck with Jason Garrett's offense, and Jason Garrett's offense isn't conducive to hardly anything. But let's be honest. Daniel Jones hasn't proven that he's a franchise quarterback. And they tried to go for Mitchell Trubisky, and they missed out on him. They got Tyrod Taylor. Now, I honestly don't know if the plan was always to have Daniel Jones be the QB1 from day one, but this staff. But at the very least, once I saw they didn't get Mitchell Trubisky and got Tyrod Taylor, I already saw what was coming. I'm like, they didn't pick up Tyrod Taylor to compete with him for the no starting job. They picked up Tyrod Taylor to be his backup. They're not going to let Tyrod Taylor. They're not going to push this guy. They're just handing him the reins again. And he hasn't proven that he can, that you should give him the reins to, and just trust him. First of all, you're going to get hurt. I'm not wishing this upon him, but he's been hurt every year through 3 years of his NFL career. He makes boneheaded decisions. His decision making is not good. His pocket presence, while it's improving, it's still below average. It's nowhere where it needs to be. Daniel Jones is a below average quarterback. Like, yeah, you need to fix the team around him, yes. But if he's that guy, if he's a franchise quarterback, he would have shown it by now. We would have been able to see enough to say, you know what, nah, give him, like, just either if he is a guy like, all right, no, we get it, but he hasn't shown enough for that. But John Mara continues to put all his stock in this guy. I think it's folly. I think it's silliness. But this is what happens when you have the Great White Hope. Or at least have a guy you want to be the Great White Hope. And that's not to say I want him to do bad, because I don't want Daniel Jones to do bad. I want him to see him succeed. But I'm not going to pretend that this guy has done enough to say, oh, I'm gonna put all my eggs in this basket. No. Like, do I have to put I want my team to be in the best position to succeed. And listen, I get it. He's a young player. You want to see what you got because time is ticking. You don't want to waste first round picks, but the Giants have been good with retaining picks in years. Like they really haven't. Let's just be honest. They draft some decent guys, and then second contract time they're going to different teams. Although Beckham got an extension, but he got traded about a season later. So it's not like there is not to build through the draft. That means you not only just draft guys, but re-sign your own players. They've been. This is why they're kind of in cap hell right now because it's been a lot of free agency moves they've had to make or trades, and like the Leonard Williams trade. And I'm not saying Leonard Williams is a bad player. Not that he's. I mean, he got the contract. He earned it. What I'm saying is how they didn't prioritize keeping a guy like Dalvin Tomlinson. How they let Le'Veon Joseph go years ago. How they got Justin Pugh and Reston Richburg, and I know something of that was injuries, but you didn't resign them. Devon Kennard, a 5th round pick, who was a pretty good player. You didn't resign him. So, Jason Pierre-Paul, the unfortunate incident with the fireworks thing, and he lost some of his fingers, but he still gave you some production, and you ultimately trade him. I mean, he got the second contract, and then you trade him. And so the management has been good. I don't know. But John Mara is hell bent on fitting this square peg in this round hole. So, for their sakes, I hope it works. I really do. Because Brian Daboll's a first-year head coach. This is his first opportunity as a head coach. We'll see what he can do as the head man. Like I said, I want it to work because I don't want to see my team do bad. But I'm not going to pretend that the Giants have... One, the Giants haven't given anyone any reason to have faith in them. And two, from what I've seen of Daniel Jones play, outside of Washington, and the one game against New Orleans, and even that, I've not seen him play a complete game. I'm not saying perfect, but where I'm like, yo, I gotta give this dude an A. He hasn't had one game like that in his career. And you're 3 years in, and last year your best game was against New Orleans, and that was only a B+ performance. Bro. That was your best performance of the year? Come on, let's not act like Daniel Jones is the guy. At this point, he is a guy, and he should be treated as such. But, he was Eli and Peyton's recommendation. And this is why you don't listen to players. This is why certain players you don't listen to. Yeah. But the Giants haven't... I'm tired of the Giants. They annoy me. Hope it works out. But why commit to this guy when he hasn't proven that he should be committed to? When he hasn't been the kind of guy you need to be successful as far as winning games. He's had moments, but he's come up short more times than not. And we could talk about the bad offensive line and the lack of receivers. What about the lack of having a viable quarterback? Well, but we won't talk about that. Not John Mara, at least. Just apologizing for this guy. Nah, we don't make no apologies for these guys. Oh, we ain't making no apologies for Danny Dams. Tell him stop turning the ball over. Tell him don't take unnecessary sacks. Tell him stop overthrowing receivers for no dang on reason. Anyway, that's what I got. Tired of this nonsense with Danny Holy L. Jones. You better start finding a way to take some wins, because they thought it was bad before. I could go after him even worse this season. I don't want to, but hey, if this is the route we're gonna go down, then this is how we're gonna do it. So that's it. Make sure you leave your comments down below. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe if you're new here. Wish to donate to the page, any and all donations are appreciated. This Cash App is Scrub0. I will leave a link directly to the Cash App in the description box. Keep up with me on Twitter at ZeroScrub, because Twitter's such a wonderful thing. And I couldn't get Scrub0. I had to get like I said, not serious enough for me to lose my head about it, but just one of those things like, why? Just why? Like, why the Giants are still sticking with Daniel Jones, but I've held y'all here long enough about this sorry-ass quarterback. So I am off, and until next time, hope everyone's having a great day. I am Scrub0. I shall catch you all on the flip side.